Hey y'all, welcome back. Today we will be doing our first cash stuffing for 2026. But before we get into that, I wanted to kind of go over some of our goals for 2026. A lot similar to 2025, which I posted on Instagram, I think. We did not pay off our debt last year, but we are scheduled to pay it off come February to March. And it's under 5,000. I can't remember if it's like 48 or 46, but it is under 5,000, and we should be able to do that in the next coming months. We want to put away at least $2,500 going towards our 100 envelope challenge. One of the reasons why we couldn't complete some of our goals last year was because we had a lot of dentist visits last year, and we're also going to be having a lot of dental visits this year. So we're hoping to fully complete all of our dental things that we need to get done this year. So that is a pretty big goal of ours as well. And then the second reason why we really couldn't save as much as we wanted to and pay off our debt was vehicle issues, which I know I probably mentioned in just about every other video. So this year, after discussing it with my husband, we need to fix some things on our Suburban, or we're just going to buy a new to us Suburban. Unfortunately, we live in an emissions county. So at the beginning of 2025 here in Texas, they did away with inspections. So you could just go get your tags and that's done and over with. But if you live in an emissions county, you still have to go get the emissions testing, and you have to pass that. Then you can go get your tags. And that is for a vehicle that's 25 years and younger. We have a 2005 Suburban, so we're a few years short. And so if you have anything wrong with your emission system, they won't even look at it. You just have to get it fixed and hope that it works. And so we had a lot of issues with that last year. And so my husband was thinking we need to either kind of fix that hole and replace that whole system, which he says will be multiple thousands of dollars, or we need to just kind of throw in the towel and buy a new to us vehicle, which actually would probably be older than the one we currently have, because if we just buy a newer vehicle, we'll just potentially be stuck with the same problems as far as the emissions systems goes. And unfortunately, it's really hard to detect with just a basic scanner to scan the computer. It'll tell you kind of like the where the problem is at in the vehicle, but it won't like tell you what the exact problem is. So it's a lot of guesswork, and which means you're paying a lot of money to replace things, hoping that that was the issue. We are not opposed of buying older vehicles. I grew up in, a bunch of classic and vintage vehicles with my grandparents and just, my parents. We had an 85 Suburban growing up, which I just loved to death, and I wish I could have one myself, but and that just may come true this year. So we're either going to fix our current Suburban or buy a new to us Suburban. And then lastly, one of our goals for 2026 is to be more intentional about our spending. About halfway through last year, I found myself needing to get off of social media because all the temptation within the budgeting community with everybody's, binders and wallets and, cute savings challenges. I really wanted to just you know, kind of keep up with everyone and you know, buy all the things. And I didn't buy a whole bunch of things by any means. I probably wasn't even, you know, purchasing something once a month, but the temptation was there. So, you know, it's hard to want to do those things and not be able to, but, you know, being tempted by them is like, you know, half the battle, it seems. So along with that, I still haven't really been on social media at all as far as budgeting goes, just been here on YouTube. So along with the intentional spending is really just not buying anything new that we already have at home, because that's where I feel like you can really get into some trouble. You know, new purses, new bags, new dishes, new you know, toiletry products like towels and things like that. We are just going to really try and focus on using what we have and not buying it if we don't need it just because, you know, it's pretty or it's cute or, you know. So I kind of started doing that at the last couple of months last year, finding myself wanting to get something and then realizing, like, I already have like 5 of those. I don't need to buy another one. So these are our 2026 goals. Let me know what your goals are for 2026, whether they're budget related or not. And let's get into the cash stuffing. This is actually paycheck number 2 for January. I didn't have anything with the first paycheck, and today we only have $100. That is $100 nonetheless. So let's get it counted up. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. 5, 10, 15, 25, 35, 45. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That is 100. Okay, so here's the cash planning sheet for today. Let's get into our main binder here. I did switch out my envelope inserts for my 2 binders. Other than that, I don't think I changed anything else. So we're going to skip to Family Fun, which is getting 10. Family Fun now has 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, and 95. We decided to forgo a birthday party for 2 of our children in February. We want to go on a camping trip sometime in the early spring, but we still might do just like a family night of bowling or something like that. So that will be for that. Birthdays is getting 10. Birthdays now has 20, 30, 40, 45, 50, and 51. This is good because I have a sister in January, my father-in-law in January, my grandpa at the beginning of February, and then 2 kids and another brother in February. So lots of birthdays coming up. Blessings is getting 5. So Blessings now has 20, 30, 35, 40, 45, 46, and 47. Close is getting 5. Close now has 10, 20, 30, 35, 40, 45, and 50. Costco is getting 10, saving up for our membership renewal in March. So Costco now has 10, 20, 30, 35, 40, 45, and 50. And then lastly here, health will get 5. So now it has 10, 15, 20, and 25. All right, so that is it for our first binder here. Let's see. I switched these inserts out as well. Outdoors is getting 10, so that has 15. I like to do some flowers, like a small flower garden this year. More of like an annual flower garden, because I've got several perennials around the house. And parties is getting 5. So parties has 10, 20, 25, 30, 35, and 40. And then kitchen, which is, let's see, where is it? Okay, right here. Kitchen is getting 5. So now it has 10. Household is getting 5. So it's 5, 10, 15, 20. Chickens is getting 5 as well. So now it has 5, 10, 15, 20. We are almost out of mealworms, so I need to restock up on those soon. And dog meds is getting 5. So now it has 10. That is it for this second binder here. Let's get into our 100 envelope challenge. We are going to do 11 today. So, right here at the top, once we pay off our last debt, we will be putting quite a bit away in this challenge every week or every month. Let's see. 10 and 1. We decided to just directly take that money that we were putting towards our loan and just put it straight into savings. So that's what we will be doing with that. All right, so there is our 100 envelope challenge. And then lastly, just a few smaller challenges here in our savings binder. It's looking rather skinny since I pulled out all of the money from the 2025 Friday savings challenges. We are going to start this challenge today. This is my Spring is Here challenge. And we are going to do 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'll get the last 4 here. And let's do our little bunny. Let me find a good color for him. How about some cute pink ears? All right, so this is started, and I think this is $30. 30 or 35, and I will just put this towards our outdoors fund for some gardening things. And then lastly, we're going to put $5 away into our 30th savings challenge. We have not done this one in a while, and my husband and I are turning 30 this year. So I wanted to do this one twice, but we are definitely not going to be able to do that. So we will just finish this one once and call it good. All right, so let's see how much we've saved so far. 100 is in the bank, 5, 10, 15, and 20. So 120, almost halfway. That is it for our savings challenge binder. Alright, so that is it for this week's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.